Picks. Ricketts Picks. It's the best there. I said it. Wait a sec. What happened? Try this again. Hello, boys and girls. So when we feel like 8:00, this is John from Ricketts Picks. You know John? Yeah.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah, we do baseball with B. Sometimes you can go check out our baseball vids. We did Houston, all that shit that happened with there, and we talked about the new rule for three. That a pitcher comes in, he's got to do at least 3 batters, and how that's going to affect the league and the picks. I'd highly recommend you go over there to BPOW and check those out. We'd love to have you over there. But not much sports going on right now, but I've been really fascinated with John and his picks for the Belarus League. And what other league is it that's going on there?
It's the Nicaragua Soccer League.
Nicaragua Soccer League.
Yeah, Nicaragua and the Russian Belarus, like the Vyshyaya League or something. I can't pronounce a lot of the names.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about it because it was funny when I first started doing the capping stuff. Like I used to do a lot of just talking about hockey, and I started going into capping. And I started watching John, and he was doing hockey picks, and I heard guys on the bottom kind of saying shit because sometimes you didn't get the hockey names right and stuff like that.
I butchered a lot of hockey names.
Butcher the hockey names, but I'm watching him and he's nailing the freaking picks, right? So I get down there and go, hey, buddy, the guy's nailing picks here. Do you give a shit if he says the guy's name right or not? Like, who cares? Put your money on what he's saying. And but the thing was I was like, how is he doing this? He doesn't know the hockey guys' names, but he's nailing picks left, right, and center. So we got to talking, and that's why we kind of do videos together now, and we're gonna probably be capping together, and I've really appreciated it. But now we go into no sports whatsoever. I'm not doing any capping, and Brian's not doing any capping. A lot of guys that I follow, they haven't did a damn thing. And I go on John. What's John doing? Checking out what Sean's doing. It's a Belarus League and Nicaraguan League. So I'm watching him, and he's nailing 8-1, dude.
Yeah, 8-1 since last Sunday.
Wow.
So, yeah, I mean
since last Sunday. So this week.
Right. Yeah. Basically. Yeah. And actually, right now, as we were just before we got on here, I was going over some stuff. There's games Wednesday, so I was looking at a couple games that I'm going to do. So, just trying to keep it rolling, trying to find an edge and keep it going. But it's great. Yeah, I just was trying to find some leagues, and I found one, and I started watching it. And I was actually doing Australian A League when everything kind of first went down, and then that league got canceled because of the virus. And I was doing a Mexican soccer league, and my soccer guy actually knew about that, so he was actually, doing most of the leg work, and I was just doing, hey, check this game out, and he'd let me know, and then I'd relay the message. And, he's been working great with me and all the mainstream soccer leagues, but they're all shut down now. And then I just decided to do this on my own and say, hey, let me try my system with this stuff, and, here we are. It was a little rough at first, a little struggle, but, I just had to watch a couple of these leagues before a couple weeks before I started actually getting into them. And, now we're rocking and rolling, and hopefully we just keep it right on trucking.
Are you able to watch any of the games at all, like to check them out, or like you just checking the scores because I'm sure you're interested now because
I can't actually watch the action, so to speak, like on TV, like highlights or anything, but we can kind of watch the little dots on the screen move around sometimes live. But most of these games go off at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. It's like I'm sleeping or I'm on my way to work or something. I'll get to work and I'll be like, oh yeah, let me see if that team won. And you look and it's like, okay, they won. And then you kind of go back and kind of watch the dots move around on the screen, kind of how it happened. But at the end of the day, it's winning's winning, and that's what we're trying to do when we cap sports. And I guess if there was turtle races and we got enough good information on them, we would do it.
Yeah, I'm always fascinated with stats, guys. It's not where I've put my work into, I guess you would say. It's not my flavor, if you want to put it that way, as far as what I seem to be really good at. And I'm a little envious because, like, you see somebody like you that can pull out a league. Like, I gotta watch hockey game after hockey game, divorce-worthy hockey I have to watch in order to get to a position where I'm comfortable where I'm at with picks. And yeah, it's successful. There's no doubt about it. But I would much rather be able to get a system going. Another guy that I don't know, is he still doing stuff? Professor MJ. I haven't seen any of his videos.
I haven't seen any new videos pop up from him. I don't know.
And he's another guy that has his system that he has. It's different than yours, I can tell. It's more for a long. Yeah, it's pretty in depth, and it's got a lot of. So you basically, without telling your secrets, you have like a secret recipe. You don't tell everybody the magic beans, but you just quickly look at, or I guess it's not quickly, but you try to take as much statistical stuff that you can bring in on each team and what they've done in the last few seasons or what have you, or games and stuff like that, and then just crunch the numbers somehow. Is that how you do it? Or?
Well, yeah, I look at look at a lot of win-loss records and how they do at home, and then home and away, goal differentials. You go back, there's a history between these teams, and you can, if you do enough research, which, I've done quite a bit of research, and if you do enough of that, you can see how the trends have played out in the past between two teams. Like a couple of the overs-unders I've nailed, it's like two teams played each other 9 times, and 8 out of the 9 times the game was 0-1 or 1-1. It went under. So it's like, okay, well that's a very safe play there. And a lot of times with hockey, or not hockey, but soccer, it's a lot of the stuff's plus money unless one team's just way better than another. I've seen one the other day where one team was, minus 1 goal, and the money line was like 5.56, and it's like, man, they're gonna win, but I don't think they're gonna win by it was 2 goals. And it was like, they're not gonna win by 2, but they're gonna win. So we took the other team plus 2, which was just a little bit of juice to lay, and that hit, and it's like. You look at these trends because a team can be terrible, like the worst team in the league, but if they're at home, they play everybody close. So, it's going to be a good game. It's not like they're going to blow somebody out.
Yeah, and then a team can be terrible, but the reason why, especially because I did play soccer when I was young. I was a hockey player, but in the summer I played soccer. It was started out to get better at hockey. I had like coaches say, soccer's great for your foot speed, and you'll come back and you'll be more swift on your skates and stuff like that. So that's why I first started it out. But you can have a bad team, but it's mainly because you just don't have offensive players, but you still play a strong defensive system, right? So never really thought about it, but I suppose if I put my mind to it, I'd be able to do that. Soccer is also like, what are the overs and unders on soccer? Usually it's got to be something like over 3 would be a lot, wouldn't it? 3 or 4?
Yeah. All the games for Wednesday, for example, are over unders 2, 2.5.
2.5. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's every single one of them, and I mean, I think there's going to be a couple that could go over, and there's 3 really good under ones. And, the thing about soccer and in the Belarus Hockey League, which I'm learning, I'm starting to follow that too because it's still going on. But I'm just watching it for now and kind of doing my research on it first. But there's draws. Like, that's always throws a wrench into the system when you're doing soccer. It's like, you can pick a team, and then, one team gets a red card, they score a late goal, and it's, final score is 1-1. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like one game just ended Sunday. I said a team was going to win by it was -1, so they had to win by 2 to cover. And I said, yeah, it's the one I put on my Patreon. I said, yeah, go ahead and take that one. And they ended up winning 7-0. So just like, yeah, that hit.
Yeah. Well, Brian's more of a stats guy when it comes to hockey, right? And when I would come into it, when we first started coming together, I'd be like crazy bullish on this one team. And at first, he would say something, we kind of get into like arguments, and then he would be right, you know? So, and then I had to like reanalyze what I was looking at and take into consideration what he was saying. Like I'm the type of person I got to see. I have to like think, why is that? Like that's why I like Professor MJ. He says, well, when you see this person score this many goals, or this team score 4 or 5 goals for 3 games, and then go on the road, you take the whatever that team to win or whatever. I got to rationalize it in my head. And that's what I like about Professor MJ. I can say, you know what? Okay, that makes sense actually, because if you go on the road, it switches like when you get on a flow, you go on the road, it changes your flow, and you can actually start overthinking scoring then, because you're trying to keep on doing what it before. It's psychological. It's cool. I get that. And so he helped me a lot become better at capping by the statistical thing. This is when I was, before I met him, I was watching you, and I was just like, how's this guy doing this? And it's unbelievable. But yes, so 8-1 playing. Is that for both leagues?
Yeah, that's both leagues combined. Yeah, they play. Some of the leagues play on Tuesday. I mean, I got fortunate last week. They played Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Some of the games I had got canceled. I had 2 picks in there that the games never got played. One of them was in the Myanmar League. They canceled that. I was on that league also, but that one was on the 24th. So Tuesday I technically didn't, or I guess Wednesday maybe. I didn't have a pick because that was my only pick for that day, but it never went off. And then on the 27th, 26th there was no games. And the 27th I had one of the games got canceled as well.
So are they playing regular season still?
Yeah, they're playing their regular season. These 2 particular leagues are still playing with fans. They're just screening them all before they go in. Yeah, they're only selling like a limited number of tickets to the games, but they're still full at it. So
it's funny. I mean, Russia claims that they have like little to no cases, and same as I don't know much about Nicaragua, but they must have little to no cases as well.
Yeah.
So it's, if they're able to actually have fans, they screen them. How do they screen them, I wonder?
I think they're just screening them for fevers, which really does nothing. But
no,
but
you got a fever in your fever, you got to go. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you asked the guy a question. Have you been to a foreign country in the last so many days, and he wants to see a soccer game? He'll just say no.
Exactly. They're going to tell the truth. Like they're going to tell the truth. Well, we asked. And that's really covering their butt, right? I guess. I think that's what a lot of things happen with this stuff too, is like they're worried about lawsuits and all that kind of stuff like that. But yeah, that's probably part of it. It's a different generation now. But anyways, boys and girls, I highly recommend you keep on, if you already are. If you haven't, go over to Ricketts Picks, man. Throw some money on this. You guys 8-1. Make a little scratch while we're waiting for sports that we do completely understand. Fortunately, we got guys like John here who can statistically come up with, like, it could be like 2 ant racing, he would probably figure it out. You might want to look into some other sports. What about cricket? Are they still doing cricket anywhere out there?
You know, there's one guy that's inspiring me right now. I don't know if you know the guy Brock Page. He has his own channel, but he's into like table tennis and stuff. And I'm like, sounds interesting.
I was thinking about BattleBots, man. BattleBots is like huge.
Yeah.
They still got BattleBot stuff going on. He's doing table tennis. Wow.
Yeah. I never knew. I was like, table tennis, what, this can't be real. So I looked, I was like, yep, there it is.
Oh, yeah, table tennis. There is competitive table tennis, but I just never thought, I mean, why not? there was one guy, is it Joe Johnson or Randy Kay that follows usually both of us? But he actually bets on darts. He actually bets on darts.
Yeah, I've seen that on my list too, but yeah, I don't follow those sports enough to know. I like to play darts.
You've like if you can do Nicaraguan soccer, I mean, I think you could. But it's a different statistical thing. Isn't it?
There's histories and stuff there. Yeah. I mean, when you can look at goal differentials, like one team will be 11-3 when they're playing at home, but they'll be 2-14 on the road. Like, they've scored 2 goals on the road in 6 games and gave up 14, but at home they've scored 11 and only given up 3. So it's like night and day. And to me, those are fairly, I don't want to say easy trends to follow, but it's something that you can look at as solid information.
Well, when you've got that kind of a window of information, I suppose, yeah. So,
I mean, that's, for me, it's,
I always want to know,
it's a lot of numbers and what's happened lately. What's that?
I always want to rationalize that. Why would a team be so bad on the road? I would have to think like they got a group of partiers or something, and when they get away from mama, they're freaking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when they're all home, they're all playing soccer, honey. And as soon as they get on the road, man, forget
it. When
I
was playing baseball, it was all about where we stayed, like what we, like if there was anything going on in town we stayed in, or if our accommodations were comfortable, or what was going on, depending on how we played. I mean, if I was a team, I'd be like, you guys are staying in this rat hole.
Yeah, that's true. And I suppose that could be the case. But I mean, in these sports, they all have the same disadvantages in that way, I would think. I mean, I don't know. It's hard to say. Maybe in those smaller leagues, it's different, though. Like different teams have more money and they stay in better accommodations. I mean, that could all play a part of it, too.
Yep.
Never really thought about that. So, yeah, I like to rationalize the statistics, and because I have a tendency to overthink.
Yeah.
But it works. It works for me on hockey picks, and I imagine once we get into ball, I'm gonna get really good at that as well. But B and you guys, it'll be fun listening to you guys. So, anyways, guys, check them out. Ricketts Picks. Make some money on these Nicaraguan, Belarus soccer things it is, and give them a follow, and we'll be trying to do more videos like this too as well, right?
Yeah, pass the time.
Yeah, don't like and subscribe the channels there, guys. It really helps us out, helps the algorithm, and that's what it's called. So, have a great day. Lots of love to you.
Thanks, Perlo.
Yeah, man. Take care. I gotta turn.